It don't matter because everything that's in the office that they trying to destroy, the CIA got it backed up anyway, and they just as dirty, and they caught. Another thing, I got the word from one of the sisters that she started a Patreon channel, and what she did, this is amazing, and she been listening to my videos because people saying I don't got no receipts. So she started a Rod Hayes receipt page on Patreon. And what she do is she posts my videos, and then all of the book references that I be dropping, she got any of them that's PDF formatted is in the downloadable format on the Patreon channel, which I'll be posting that Patreon channel later on when we get done. The water still haven't come back, and the Mississippi is drying up. This is a big fucking deal. So what is happening with the planet is there's something in our solar system that's drawing a magnetic pull on the equator. The rivers normally run on top of the ground, but some of them come from underground springs. The electromagnetic grid is being affected by an outside force. Whatever this thing is, it has to be massive because it's been had the water out on the Gulf almost 2 weeks. That water has to come back. The Jordan River, the Euphrates, they dried up. The Thames in Europe is dried up. It's a massive river in China that dried up. So there's rivers drying up. And the other side of that is the Sahara Desert and the Arabian Desert is seeing water in places they never had water. Rivers is popping up in places that there haven't been rivers in thousands of years. About a week ago, there was a river of fish springing up from underground. So what that's telling me is that wherever the water is, it condensed the fish into, when it come up in a new place, that the fish roll down with the water when it come out of the new reservoir. So these are underground springs that's popping up in diverse dry places. Let me see what else for the updates. There is a video I'm going to share on my Facebook so that y'all can hear the story about Inky's return. Inky's coming back with the upgrade codes to the DNA, but Inky's only coming back through the solar rays to upgrade the DNA. His physical avatar can only come so close to the Earth without starting the catastrophe unless the people of the Earth allow him back in. He's the geneticist that downgraded the human genome in order for them to use us as workers. And Enlil tried to sidetrack it and make us live very short lives so that we can never realize what's being done to us. We never live long enough to see what they've been doing. So we're going to all of this upgrades based on the time clock of the galactic cycle, and what's being done on Earth is to correct the errors. So some people can't get upgrades. They can't stay here. I don't know where they're going. I don't care where they're going. But the ones that can't take the upgrade, they don't mean us no good no way. So I would be overindulging in their plight in order to be given a fuck where they go. I don't care where they go. They just got to leave here. Right. So let me see. Oh, for the people that's asking questions about last names, and it's too much to type. I can't type everybody the meaning of their last names like that because some of them are attached to tribal, traditional ways and cultural phenomenon that'll take me too long to explain. I think that's about it for the. Me and Young Elder are going to be doing something soon. I got to get back with him. We're going to go over that Inky video in one, but in another one, we're going to be doing the mud floods and the great fires when we've been at war this whole time and none of our people know it. So that's going to be on the Young Elder page later on YouTube. So with that, we can get into it. Yeah, we can go on and get down to business. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can y'all hear in the chat?
Okay.
You can hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so we can get started whenever you're ready.
Oh, okay, okay. Again, thank you so much, Brother Rod. It's such an honor to share this time with you and with your tribe. So first, I want to say thank you so much. Thank you to the Soul Tribe out there. Soul Tribe here, Mexico loves you. Soul Tribe here in New Orleans, we love you. I contacted Rob Hayes because I had some questions. He talked a lot about Big Mama, right? And we've heard a lot about her and the spirit of Big Mama, as I like to sing. So, Rod, a lot of times in my work and healing, helping people to heal ancestrally, these mother wounds keep coming up. They keep coming up. And it's not like the mothers are horrible or they did anything wrong. It's just there was something that was wounded that was passed on down the generation, right? And we wonder, why do I do this? Or I can't stop doing that? Or this seems compulsive? Or I can't get this program from start running in the background. So my question to you is, what has been your experience with maybe working with people with mother wounds, or how might you define it? And what could be some things that we can look at to try to help us to heal from mother wounds?
So when we talk about mother wounds, it's the same as what we call caregiver syndrome. The mothers is so focused on taking care of the rest of the family, she ain't taking care of herself. By her doing that, if you get a shoulder ache, you still cooking dinner. You know, your back hurt, you still going in there and clean the house while the kids at school. You're still performing your functions as a caregiver. So when you study the trauma that caregivers go through, they don't take care of themselves. And this is where the mother wounds originate. It's caregiver syndrome. So busy taking care of everybody else that you don't take care of you. So this is why the sisterhood is important. Because us as men, we can comfort our counterparts. But to recover from from what you call mother syndrome or caregiver syndrome, the women need somebody that's going through the same things that they're going through, that can identify the certain traumas that they face. By doing this helps them to work through the problem as a group. The sisterhood is so important, but the sisterhood was broken by outside nefarious forces. When we go to the Nation of Islam, Elijah Muhammad said the last trick of the devil is going to be to freely give you his woman, right? So we thinking pale face. Enlil look like us. He just look like a light-skinned Negro. And he can change that. He can change his skin color. That's why they get the term shapeshifter. But he can calibrate to the solar rays that increases his melanin production in his skin. We used to have that ability. We used to camouflage like chameleons in the vegetation. So when you read the story of Chief Pontiac, and they say that the wolves came out of the shadow to offer and render aid, yeah, that was us. We werewolves, the ones who wear the wolf pelts. We the werewolves. We wear wolves. And they are the ones that call us like kin because we're not really related to them vampires. They bloodsuckers, adrenochrome drinkers, cannibals, and they love to consume the flesh of infants because they say the meat is tender. And so we got different views on things. Enlil children don't get two shits about how much suffering we go through. But if we do anything to them, they scream to hell and high heaven that we touched one of them. Fall out, throw a tantrum, the Karen syndrome. That's the traditional behavior. So when women come around, our women, we used to couldn't recognize them off appearance, but they got tail signs. Like they don't care nothing about taking care of the uterus. They don't care about that. So they'll smell like a half a herd of cows coming out from between their legs. That's not normal for our women. Our women don't behave in a manner to neglect the uterus, the womb, the yoni. So we develop yoni priestess to give reverence to the womb. Now we finna get to who is Big Mama and where she at. So I have a video I did on YouTube a couple years called Let's Examine the Structure of Creation. And in the process, I ran into something called the primordial Nun, N-U-N, in ancient Kemet. The primordial noon is the primordial waters of creation, and aka the womb of Big Mama. So when you look out into the darkness of space, that's melanin that you're looking at. And that melanin is sentient, and the energy that causes it to be sentient, we call it Big Mama energy. When you see the portrayal of Big Mama in Kemet in Egypt, she's portrayed as a hippopotamus head woman with a crocodile tail, and we call her Tawaret, and she carries a meat cleaver. Because she don't play. She will whop your ass with that meat cleaver. But at the same time, she'll go use that meat cleaver to go cook dinner. You see?
Right.
So that's when we say Big Mama, we talk about prime forces of creation that produce what we see as life. You can't escape it. She personifies as something called the Dark Mother, right? The old crone, the dark old crone mother with the real bad attitude that they're taking everybody's kids. She got a real bad attitude, cursed like a sailor, but she makes sure everybody in the clan is taken care of. When she sent her boys out, we don't come back unless the job is done. Some of us never made it home, right? So she sent me to come and find out what the problem was on Earth and fix it. It ain't nothing personal. It's just family business. Big Mama wanted done. Mama said, now remember what Big Mama told you, baby, because you're going to have to make sure you leave no stone unturned. Oh, yes, ma'am. So, there's a lot of things that they point their finger at me and said when I was a little boy that they wouldn't do that shit while I'm a grown-ass man. Right? I'm a mama's boy. I'm going to grow up and be a sissy. I'm always under my mama skirt tail. Motherfucker, fuck you and the horse you rode in on. My mama gave me more motherfucking knowledge than any school teacher I ever had.
Yeah, absolutely.
And my father taught me how to find knowledge. So when I put the two together, I can't disrespect my father and I can't disrespect my mama. So
that's right.
I don't care if they thought I was going to be something, because what I turned out to be, when they thought I was a little monkey boy, I was just a baby gorilla. Now I'm here to rattle their motherfucking cages for this Planet of the Apes shit. Because Anunnaki said that the humans, being primates, we monkeys. They called us monkeys. That's where we got the term. We ain't run from it. Right? So that's why they called the priests monks, short for monkey. We don't give two flying fucks. Fuck you. Psycho Ma going crazy in this bitch. We going to get all the information and we going to give it to these sisters because this is their shit. See, people be thinking I be moving for a position for me. I'm not moving for nothing for me. My mama said, don't let nobody take anything from your brothers and sisters. Well, somebody took my sister's shit, and I want my sister to get her shit back. I worry about my shit after my brothers and sisters get theirs.
Wow.
This machine ain't running the way it's supposed to run because the power ain't where it belongs.
Right.
So here he comes, Sun Wukong, the undefeated one. They called him the Hano Man because he was a fucking handyman. They was good to have around, right? And then they thought he was a Nimrod because all of the guys feared Nimrod because he would beat their motherfucking ass about his mama and his sisters. I don't give a fuck if you say you God. I will kick you off your high and mighty and bring you down to the low. It's nothing personal. Just leave my sisters and my brothers the fuck alone. Well, until we all get a peace, we ain't going to see no peace. So I came to get us all a peace so that we can have some peace.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Because as you sound the alarm, there are women like myself and others listening, and we're waking up. I've seen a lot in my work. They're waking up to this new higher consciousness, this awareness. This is just great. So what would you suggest for women who want to connect to that, the cosmic mother, who want to connect to Big Mama? What are some things that are practical that anybody can do, but especially for women, how we can connect ourselves? You talked a little about the yoni. Yes.
Yep. So the spiritual bath is the cornerstone of Earth women. The spiritual bath has been removed from the mainstream culture because it also is a prime treatment for caregiver syndrome. They had a commercial in the 70s called Calgon, Take Me Away.
Yeah.
The whole philosophy of the commercial was about mother healing mother wounds. right? Calgon just so happened to capitalize on the psychological subconscious memory in order to compel women to use the Calgon bath, but that's not a spiritual bath. It's a book. It's a really good book on spiritual baths. You can get it up for a little bit of nothing off of Amazon, called 105 Spiritual Baths.
Okay.
It's excellent.
Thank you.
And find it's a sister in New York. She run a group called the Goddess Glow Up. I believe she's a priestess of Oshun, but I haven't talked to her to find out for sure. But all her movements say she's an Oshun priestess. But she run a group called the Goddess Glow Up, who do retreats for women to recover from the different traumas they face here.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And yeah, and you can look at her page on Facebook, and you can see her work. What do they do? What do it look like? When the women wear white, you're supposed to wear the white at the fresh water, right? But then the Oshun priest is supposed to be in gold if it's an Oshun ceremony. Oye is supposed to be blue, Yemiya purple. I could have the last two backwards, but I'm pretty sure it's Oye is blue, Yemiya is purple. But when you're doing those saltwater ceremonies, you know what I'm saying, the colors of the priestess match the Orisha energy she's honoring. And when they do that, all of those women in white harness the solar energy that's amplified by the water, and then they become Tesla coils. And if you put a group of Tesla coils together, you're going to have a reaction.
Wow.
Yep. Let me see what else. Body cleansing. The cleansing into the liver is critical. The cleansing of the kidneys. And the lymphatic system is one of the most neglected systems in the body. Right?
I agree.
And when you see people retaining water with diabetes, it's because their lymphatic system is congested.
Right.
Right. So you have to keep those systems. Once them systems is clean, your physiology operates normal. Now, grounding, walking on the barefooted on the ground, sitting on the ground, you could use like wicker, or you could use a wicker mat for a seat if you don't want to sit on the bare ground, but the bare ground is best. The dirt of the earth ain't never been a problem to us because it also increases the immune system of the children when they play in the dirt. We don't want to talk about that. We want to bathe the dirt off of them, but you're supposed to let them get a little dirty when they play first. The dirt also helps to calibrate the energy that you have to the energy of the earth, right? So all of those things are critical for the female healing, right? And let me see. The herbalist I use is the one here. My herbalist is named Dr. Pittman, Keon Pittman. He's in Pontiac. He can be found on Facebook under Doc Pitt. Also, the Women Are Ready group, led by Dr. G, all of the sisters just want to connect, but they don't want to be part of organizations. I've been sending them to her. The ones who need organizational structure, I tell them go into the beginners class for the MGTGCC, the Nation of Islam, because they teach the stuff. You know, so if they already doing the work, it's easier for me to send you to somebody that's already doing the work than it is to start it up from scratch. Right?
Right.
So other people looking to create a cult, I'm looking to develop culture. I don't want no cult. Right? So that's why you send the people where the people doing the work is at, so you don't have a cult. Right?
Exactly.
Right. So when you don't have a cult, they can't call you a psychotic cult leader that's misleading people, but the people know when he can't be a cult because he done sent me somewhere else.
Right? Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So those cult leaders normally is in it for the money. They in it for the money and the control of other people. I don't give a fuck about no money. I don't give a fuck about controlling that motherfucker. All I give a fuck about is getting my sister her shit back, get my brother their shit back, and then we can go about our business. Because when they ain't happy, I ain't happy. I came in on 10 because they exhausted 1 through 9 already. You know, so it is what it is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for. Yes.
You see this Babylon right here? I don't know if you're a real Babalawo, but there is a ceremony for the ones who have substance abuse problem. Over here, we used to do a ayahuasca ceremony. On the motherland, we do what's called an Igbo game ceremony. I always say, don't do them without an experienced priest to walk you through it, because they dream walkers. The priest that leads you through it is dream. So you can get stuck and trapped if you don't have an experienced priest overseeing the ceremony. But they will, when you do, you have an experience, you can no longer be addicted. It's not possible.
Right, right.
So I think, is that it for that question?
Absolutely, absolutely. And we have those ceremonies here in Mexico as well, all over. And those who come to visit us, they depending on, again, where they are, they partake in those experiences, and it's tremendous. The ones that we do are tremendous. So I just love what you talked about, even about what we can do as women. Number one is that cleansing process. Part of our tradition is before we try to heal anything and put all stuff on top, let's cleanse. Let's get whatever is ailing us out and give our body, our spirits, our minds the opportunity to exercise itself and to work for us. And so I love that ideology, and it's just so important. And when we do physical cleanses, spiritual cleanses, emotional cleanses, energetic cleanses in our home, cleaning everything becomes so important. That to me has always been fundamental. So that makes perfect sense. I really appreciate that. Another question I have.
Big Mom used to mop the house with Florida water.
Yes. Yes. From the back to the front, you got to catch the corners. Because they said the corners, the intersection, they hold the energy. No cobwebs, that holds energy. All of these different things, which we say are old school. Now, all these things we would say, oh, that's old time, are some fundamentals of spiritual hygiene. And I find that a lot of people have forgotten a lot of the spiritual hygiene. And the things that we're talking about right now, as we're honoring Big Mama, is also honoring ourselves and getting back to those things of cleanliness of mind, body, and soul. And so all of that makes perfect sense. One of the things I had mentioned, I should say that I've heard you talk about, is that these children are being born into this realm, and some of the superpowers that they're coming into, which are a lot different, and some of them are being labeled as ADD, ADHD, or whatever they want to call our children. We know that this time they're downloading, they're coming here with a special purpose. What type of advice would you give to parents and families that are caring for a child, for example, who may have a speech delay, or may have other superpowers, or anything that would be, quote unquote, out of the mold? How would be the best way you would recommend that they care for that child with special energy?
The first thing is, if you send them to the school, you can forget about it. You ain't going to be able to do what's necessary to offer the proper aid and assistance to your child. But one of the things is, if you have a boy or girl that they say is hyperactive, the girls, we developed in Atlanta something called gymnastics. That's for girls with high Shakti energy. They diagnosing those girls now with ADD, ADHD, bipolar disorder. They just not teaching them how to harness that energy. So we gave them gymnastics. The more rebellious but more highly feminine types was given figure skating, and they was given different synchronized swimming, because they're controlling the less hostile rebellious energy. But gymnastics is more aggressive. Some of the females, if they lift a little bit of weights, it'll help them tune down that high energy output, and then they become more. If you look at Dominique Dawes now, beautiful woman. If she wouldn't have went through the gymnastics training that she did, she would be a problem. She would be a problem. She would be one of them sisters that the system has to mount an army against. But she was able to temper that energy. That high Shakti energy, that's them warrior women. And we had exercises, like roller skating is a variant of figure skating. Right? The girls used to skate and the guys used to skateboard. It was just a harnessing of the energy. For the boys, shit, take them outside, let them motherfuckers run till they wear down. Then you try to teach them something. And don't be scared to give them the CBD oils that doesn't have THC in it,